Armed and dangerous, police are warning about a man they say has killed 3 people in Hampton Roads in the last week. Right now, U.S. Marshals are offering a $10,000 reward for information to help them find Beal.
On January 14, 1991, Xavier Hill was born to Calvin and Bianca Hill. God allowed her parents to name her and raise her in the fear and admiration of the Lord, and her parents knew she would make a mark on the world one day. Hill was known to be fun-loving, cheerful, and outgoing. She was very active in school from kindergarten to grade school. She was creative and smart and was an honor student all her life. Hill was selected to be a part of the Gifted and Talented program in elementary school and continued to soar academically throughout her entire school career. She had always been a talker and a natural motivator, and first showed an interest in communication while attending Western Branch Middle School. While in high school, Hill became a certified on-air radio announcer with the Hampton University WHOV 88.1, where she hosted a Wednesday evening blues show. Hill was a Parsons Scholar and received a 4-year scholarship to attend Norfolk State University. While attending NSU, she co-hosts the on-campus talk show called The Golden Message. As a natural leader, she was selected to represent NSU at the Gloucester Institute for Student Leaders. She was an honor graduate and received her bachelor's degree in mass communication. She later completed a master's degree in human service counseling and was actively working on a second master's degree in strategic communications, both from Regnet University. Hill had been in church all her life, but more important than her being in church was the love of God that was in her. Over the years, she sung in the choir, was a praise dancer, coordinated women's conferences, and co-hosted Ladies' Night, to name a few. With her love of communications, she handled all the technology and streaming functions at the new Genesis Worship Center. She loved working alongside her dad in ministry. Hill was called into ministry in an early age and finally accepted the call on her life during college. Her initial sermon was entitled Built for This. She used many platforms to share her gift and to expound on the Word of God. She had an email ministry called Chewing on This, a blog called My Sister's Keeper, and a streaming platform called Let's Talk Tuesdays. She loved God and she loved being used by Him to help His people. Hill was the proud owner of 114th and Company, where she uplifted Jesus, strived to help people find their purpose, and helped with branding. The significance in 1/4 was that it was her birthday. Before starting her company, she worked as an administrator in higher education, helping students at the Regnet University and Hampton University. She recently accepted a job with Eagle Harbor to be a lead photographer and editor in public affairs. She was so excited to get back into communications. Hill was a member of the Virginia Beach alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Her line name was Static Electricity. During the induction ceremony, she stated, "You may not see me coming, but you sure will feel my presence." That was so true of her personality on so many levels. Everyone who knew her surely felt her presence. She didn't care to be out front, to brag, or to be in the limelight. She just wanted to make a difference. All who knew her loved her. Hill was in a relationship with Beal IV, with whom she dated and lived with for about a year and a half. Bill stated that in the beginning of the relationship, everything was good. Their life was good, but at some point, Hill's parents got involved in their relationship and they were trying to get her to leave him because they did not feel he could provide for her. Bill said that he was a good provider and he did very well for her. and supported her emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and that Hill was about to start a new job, and he stated she was starting to act different because of her mother being in her ear. Bills went on to say that he was about to launch a business himself and that Hill and himself had been working on a business plan, workout plan, dieting plan, and financial plan for the past year. He stated that there was no problems in their relationship and he helped her launch her business. Bill said he held it down by supporting her while she was in college, while she helped her parents run the church when she was sick, and while she was just helping her parents in general. However, things changed when Bill said her attitude changed towards him and she began to lash out. He said that her parents were not aware of the good that he had brought to her life because she never told them. According to records, Bill's had a criminal history dating back to 2005. Armed robbery and sexual assault on a child are just a few of the crimes for which Bill served prison time. According to court documents, Bill pled guilty to sexual battery with a child younger than 13 years old. He was sentenced to a year in prison, and in 2018 for sexual abuse that happened in 2005. Because of a plea agreement with Bill's plead guilty, the charges was reduced to misdemeanors. Under the conditions, Bills would register as a sex offender. Bills registered with the Sex Offender Registry in 2018 and again in 2020, listing his address in Virginia Beach. According to News 3, they combed through documents and they revealed Bills pled guilty to several charges in 2012, including conspiracy, 2 separate charges of robbery, including armed robbery and the use of a firearm by a felon. Bill served 6 years for those crimes under the conditions of good behavior after his release and supervised probation. While in jail, Bill's father, Cola Bills III, 51, faced murder charges in the death of his wife, June Bills, just before 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, July 27, 2014. A parishioner of a church that the couple attended called police to report he had heard from Bills, who said that he had killed his wife inside their home. According to police, officers went to the home, forced their way inside, and found June dead with trauma to her body. Police spoke to Cola on his mobile phone, and he told them he was at a specific location in Norfolk. The officers called their counterparts in Norfolk, who took him into custody without incident. Also, according to Bills, his father tried to kill his mother when he was around 1 year old and shot her multiple times, and she did not die, and he went to jail and did not see him again until he was around 15 years old. On Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022, Bills and Hill were at home for about the past week working through things when he said that he had snapped and he started seeing red because he was overwhelmed by Hill's mother getting involved in their relationship and also by his probation officer putting him back on paper longer when he stated that he didn't even do the crime that caused him to be on probation, but he admitted to guilt to be able to come home, and he was almost done with his probation, and they changed things up and violated him, so he was already in a bad mood, and from that, everything was falling apart. Bills confessed that he had pulled the dog of Hill's into the room and said he was going to burn the dog alive, and she said, "Don't hurt my dog, please. Do whatever you want to me, but don't hurt my dog." So he said he did just that, and he shot her in the head and let the dog live because she started to make a lot of noise. On Wednesday, March 23rd, 12 hours after Bills killed Hill, he headed to his adopted father, Clifton Baxter's home on Linden Court in Virginia Beach, where he then killed him. He was 73 years old. Bill said that he went over there to get some money so he could get by, but Baxter did not help him, so he decided to take his life, and in the process he took $20,000 from him and 20 guns that were in the house. Bill's cousin, 32-year-old Darwin McLean, was with him when the murder occurred and would later become Bill's third victim. Bill's told reporters on Thursday, March 24th, the two of them got into an argument after he killed Baxter. Bill said that he was going to kill someone for his cousin that was looking for him, but things got out of hand and McLean was yelling at his girlfriend and drinking. So Bills got fed up with him because McLean didn't think that his cousin would really help him. So Bill said, "Man, I just killed 2 people. Do you think that I'm not ready to shoot again? I'm still seeing red." Bill said McLean kept going off and talking crazy, so he went right into the kitchen where he was at and shot him in the head. He said he didn't drop and he kept moving, so he shot him in the back to make sure he hit the ground.
Investigators found 31-year-old Xavier Hill dead from a gunshot wound after a fire. The next day, police found 73-year-old Clifton Baxter dead in a home nearby on Linda Court.
Now, Beal is connected to another homicide in Norfolk after they found 32-year-old Downey McLean dead in a home on Sewell's Point Road.
3 days in a row, 3 victims. Bills also stated that he went back to the townhome that he shared with Hill on that Thursday and burnt it down and killed her dog as well. Bill said that he went to Hampton on Thursday, taking McLean's girlfriend as a hostage to chill in an Airbnb and watch the Manhunt for himself on the news. He stated, "I was watching y'all broadcast. Y'all did some good broadcasting," he said. He said while he was in his Airbnb, he was plotting to kill next, but he was definitely looking for more people, but he was trying to choose them wisely, he said. 1 week after Bill started his killing spree, he was caught by the U.S. Marshals. Bill's claim that the reason he didn't go out shooting was because next door to the Airbnb he was in, there were 2 little boys outside playing, and also he had McLean's girlfriend hostage still, and he did not want anybody else to get killed because he has kids and would not want to see no one else catch a bullet. He stated that he kept the girlfriend hostage because he did not want her to tell what had happened, so he took her everywhere with him and threatened her that if she told anyone, he would kill her. While he was behind bars, he gave an interview to reporters of everything that happened and said that he has no remorse and that he lived his life and he is ready for the chair. This is so unbelievable that someone snapped like that and felt nothing behind it. Very heartbreaking, not just what he did, but what his father did as well to his stepmother and mother when he was a baby. In my opinion, definitely family trauma and mental health issues that were never addressed. However, that does not excuse what happened to all the victims involved. No one has the right to take someone else's life just because they are upset at the moment. The fact that the cycle repeated itself is very scary, and he has kids himself. I pray for better days and for justice to be served for all the victims involved. And as always, please remember, stay woke. Things change quickly.